The software today that I'll review with you is Hollerback. It's a interactive messaging and alert system, web-based, for universities, healthcare centers, franchises, essentially any employer or business that has a number of categories of or groups of constituents or stakeholders that need to be communicated with quickly and efficiently at the same time. And we use SMS text messaging rather than apps because it works without internet, and that's pretty significant in terms of messaging folks. So let me bring you right into the app. It's web hosted, so it'd be in your browser, and there's an admin side. And in the admin side, what you're able to do, we go deeper into this in the tutorial, is you'll have a master setup. This will allow you to set up categories so you can group your key stakeholders into categories, and pretty straightforward as to how to add them in creating a new category. We also have units and locations. This is also important. It gives you the ability to, I look at units and locations, consider it as like departments, and your categories here are more like your stakeholders. So the people who'll be receiving the messages, which departments or environments are they involved in? Again, it's pretty simple. Just click and add the name. Here is where you add your users, and the users in this case will be your staff who will use this. You can add multiple departments. So here I added the enrollment department, and you'll create them here. The company is the same, and that's where you would put the you could put the department that they're in if you wanted to. Email, last name, and then just their probably extension or office phone number. And they'll be a user. So it might be financial aid would be the other user of this, or what have you. Here we have templates, and these can be filled out. These are the different categories of messages that can be sent. And in some cases, you might have the need where you want to make sure that what's being sent is very scripted and not deviated from the script. So you can have these templates completed and have the system, when somebody chooses activities, it will populate the message field and send out that specific script to activities, or in this more likely like announcements, and the text-to-speech will be that same announcement. So that's just sort of a control feature. And here you can upload your logo. And now we have we have a user, and it's enrollment demo 2017. So we'll log out. Log in. And what's unique about our system is we really feel organization around messaging in a business or, well, any environment, but particularly a business environment, whether it's school or healthcare, is really important. So these are your services that are available for your staff to choose from, and you can, in the other service category area, these can be unchecked, so they're not available. And you can see that there's a color code over here, and that helps you look at the calendar and see where this color falls under. In this case, it's chat. So up here is our event calendar, which is this, support, preferences, and reports. We're working on finishing up reports as well as the reminder feature. Preferences are basically the profiles of your stakeholders in the different categories. So for example, think of it as we're going to change it to call it profiles. So if you have a number of prospective students on a spreadsheet, you can send that to us, but there's a way we can help you format it so you can upload it, so you don't have to enter them by hand. So here I created preferences are pretty straightforward. And we'll add in your preferences, which isn't going to be employees or categories and families and residents. But for now, give you an idea. So your categories would come up, be students, maybe it could be students, adjunct professors, or human resources, depending on who you need to communicate with. It shouldn't be limited just to students. It's a really handy tool for internal communication. It's originally how it was designed. Okay, so we can edit here. Just click edit. So if somebody wanted voice, then they'll get a voice message. Here's the category, and then the groups we were talking about. So we grouped them with prospective students. We have student body and then financial aid. So here's prospective students, save. Go back to event calendar, and in this case you want to, you can send out, what's nice is you can send out a blast. I'll do it on this date again, but also make it a chat. That's kind of cool. So it's a chat, and we're going to say prospective student follow-up. Here, you don't really have to use the dates. These are used for when we set up the reminder system. However, I do think it's a good tool for auditing when messages went out. So it's a good discipline to have staff who's using this actually just put in the date and time their message went out, so you have some record of it. Hello. This is admissions. Well, this is Maria from inviting you to a tour and lunch on campus Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 1. Please reply with the time best. Please reply with a, please reply with a, please reply. Okay, sorry about that. And here you can click notify. And we go over here. This is where we send the message. Okay, so here we have right now we just set up. These are the two groups. So financial aid. We click on it. It's going to show us we have Sally, and she's not part of this group. So what we can do here is just click it. Here we'll see the folks that are the prospective students. Now, if you just wanted to send it to one, just click the one. If you want to send it to all, just click all. And then once you're ready, it will go out. Oh, there it is. Now what will happen, the student will get it, and it gets typically read in about first 5 minutes. And that's a blast, so you could send that to a whole variety of people. And I'm going to write back Wednesday. Okay. Now, when a message is sent back, and you can hover over a message to see what the message, if anybody's responded. Okay, so here, unlike, for example, this one, we had no response. It gives you your messages detail. However, here, we have a response. It's blue, and go to message, and you'll see a plus mark next to the message. That's the person, and then Wednesday at 1 o'clock. How long will it be? And it says the student's name, and you could reply. Click send, and here you'll have a whole thread that you can manage and track by date and time. And once that gets to the student, then at this point, there it is. And then at this point, we're able to confirm the student, and you have a record of the conversation, and you're able to chat, SMS. They don't need to download an app, and you could follow up, close out, and for example, what you may want to do is once we have the reminder installed, you'd be able to put a reminder here, talk about the orientation or the tour, and maybe have a schedule a time early in the morning, not too early, but early in the morning that message will go out and remind everyone who is on your list that's scheduled for that event the next day. So kind of a neat feature. Thank you very much.